G'day, everyone's video on Sunday, 30th of March 2025, just gone 12:18 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So it's the weekend, time for another weekend futures market update, where I go through 15 of the largest futures markets and I show you what I'm seeing on my charts. Do hope you had a good week's trading. In last weekend's video, we talked about the market needing to test, and there was some downside energy we needed to get rid of, and boy did we get that. A little bit of strength at the beginning of the week. I think Tuesday was very difficult to trade because the range was very tight, and then the market started to roll on Wednesday, Thursday, and then bang, Friday, a big down day. So let's go through the mini charts, daily all the way down to the 15-minute and then the 13,500. And here we go. Over the last couple of days, we've had this roll, and on Friday's activity, blue professional bar with a blue background. That means that's big pros, that's super high average trade size, extremely important. We've had the trailing stop trail up with better pro-am. We've had our exhaustion pattern here. The momentum read is negative 1.3 million. We'll have to get a turn up in that in order to cause a bullish divergence signal there. But that's good, so that's professionals getting in on the way down. But we're super close to that trailing stop. So is that going to hold, or are we going to break that? Let's go down the time frames. So here's the 135-minute chart, and this is the energy that we needed to get rid of. Better sine wave. We needed to come back up on the lowest time frame here. We had broken through support ages ago, and we needed to come back and put in a pullback to end of trend. So we had a little bit of strength. We gapped up on the Sunday into Monday, and then we rolled over, bang, and pull back to end of trend. We've got a cross happening here, so that'll put in an end of trend when we get a little bit of strength and some price confirmation on better sine wave. So that's good. It's a pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame, syncing up with cyclical support on the highest time frame. So we talk about trending moves in lower time frames being equivalent to cycle moves in higher time frames, and the cycle that we're playing out here is resistance to support on the highest time frame. But we still need that price confirmation. We still need this to turn and that signal to come in. So early days, but it's potentially there. And then what does that mean? We're still below support on the intermediate time frame. So we're going to have to play out that energy as well. Once we've traveled this far past, we can't just have a small little overshoot and a turn at that point. We're going to have trouble again when we get a pullback to end of trend pattern on the intermediate time frame or something like that. In terms of momentum patterns here, I mean, the blue professional bars have come in on the last cycle down. We haven't seen them on this time frame, and that reading there at 19,000, I mean, I'd like to have seen an exhaustion pattern on this leg down, and it wasn't a very big reading there. Have to wait and see, but there's some good news there that we'll get an end of trend going off Monday, Tuesday. 45-minute chart. Okay, here we go. Now these blue professional bars were miles away, so we've got to go see blue professional bars. There's that pullback to end of trend, a signal that we're playing out on this time frame. So that's going to go in. That's on the intermediate time frame here on the 45-minute chart. So when that plays in, we'll have a little bit of a bounce. But is it going to come with a real big move through these lows and then a blue professional down bar? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think I've said that 3 times now. A 15-minute chart. Here we go. All right. Now we talked about this last weekend. And I said in these 2 weeks we'd seen no exhaustion patterns, no blue professional bars. And we got both this week, which is good. So first of all, when we had the gap up, this was tight trading up here. We had a little bit of weakness, and then here's the little retracement move, and there we go. Blue professional bars come in for a stair step down. So the professionals selling it down at that point. That's good. Market continues down, and this is Friday's activity. Swan dive through those lows. It's closing the gap, if you like, from the gap up on the Sunday, Monday, and then the blue professional bars start to come in here. We've had an exhaustion sell on this pattern down here. Even on this activity, it didn't generate exhaustion sell, which is interesting. A price momentum indicator would show a very different pattern. This is volume momentum, and volume is the fuel that powers the market, so that's more important to me. And then by the end of the day, we had positive momentum reads, so that's interesting. So that's good. So we're trailing the stop down, at least on the 15-minute chart, and then here we're playing out pullback to end of trend. So here's the trending move that we had through that significant support on the highest time frame. We overshot it. We're coming back down. We've got a cross on 15-minute chart in the highest time frame there. We're trying to put in some stopping signals down here that'll end that move. So that's good. We were expecting that move. Now we need some price confirmation that this low is important and that we'll have a bounce from here. The 13,500 tip bar chart was great for trading this week. First of all, let's have a look at the price patterns going on here. So the beginning of the week was at this point here, bang, and we gapped up Sunday night into Monday, and then we ended up, I mean, it's a beautiful little pattern up here. Let's just switch off that sine wave here. This I talk about the end of trend patterns rippling through the time frames. So here's the pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame, followed by pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame, all happening around a cyclical turn on the highest time frame, and then we get the sign of weakness up here, and it's a continuous downtrend all the way down. Now, this one didn't hold on the way down, pullback to end of trend on the lowest time frame, pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame, all happening at cyclical support. We have a big things happen at triples signal here. That sign of strength doesn't hold, and we roll through. That is because the professionals were selling at the highs here, and they were not buying here, they were buying at the end. I can show you that on the 13,500 tip bar chart. Okay, so let's momentarily disable better momentum up here. So beginning of the week, we gap up, and here's blue professional bars, super high average trade size. The background's in blue, the bars are blue, and we've got these new better squeeze indicators going off here. We're looking for these as highs, so this is when the market's making new highs with professionals active absolutely at those highs. That is showing that they're getting out at that point. We spend a little bit of time above that sequence. We have a squeeze pattern here showing that everything is compressed, and that's all of these patterns really tight together, the support and resistance lines together. We have a squeeze pattern, we break into a downtrend. These blue professional bars are getting the move going. We've got through that important support, they're getting the move going, exhaustion sold, and we have a little weak retrace with amateur bars, and then on Friday's activity, bang, we collapse, and we've had a reversal of that signal. So down at the lows, blue professional bars, buying into the lows, we have these blue squares showing us that they're at the extremes, the professionals are active. So this area is super important, and we've trailed the stop down, which is great. So we've got to get above that stop. We've got to put in pullback to end of trends on the highest time frame here. So although the market closed here, it's a tip bar chart showing the overnight activity, and there's a little bit of after hours activity there on the E-mini. So we actually closed down almost at 5,600. Let us see what happens Sunday night into Monday. So we still need to get above all of these trailing stops on a better pro-am on the lower time frame charts. I suppose this one is the one that concerns me the most, the 45-minute chart, because we're still miles away in terms of the trailing stop here. So we've got to put in blue professional bars there. So there we go. There's the mini charts. Let us talk about the Forex charts first. So Euro chart, this was a nice pattern. We're in an uptrend on the Euro, and here's this week's activity. Beginning of the week marked by solid vertical yellow lines, and the end of the week here. And it was weak all week, and then down at the lows down here at 107.80, blue professional bars come in, a little blue professional box comes in to show professionals active at that low. So I swear to you, there's a blue professional bar behind there, but anyway, it is down there. And then the first sign of strength, and we get a signal coming in here. We've had no blue professional bars taking profits here or here. They came in on the retrace, which is nice, a little bit of a stair-step trade. That's exhaustion buying, getting the move going out of this low consolidation area here. So let's look for the euro to strengthen this week. British pound has been the strongest of all of the currencies, and you can see that although the euro was selling off over the last 2 weeks, the pound did nothing. Just go nowhere between 29 and 30. But here we're in an uptrend. The background's in red. We've got blue professional bars coming on the retrace. But let's see if that holds and we break above this 29.70 type area to a continuation of the uptrend on British pound. Aussie dollar, not as pretty a picture. Yes, it's been weak last week, but blue professional bars came in here, not at the absolute lows, which is what I like to see, but that's a bunch of activity at the beginning of the week, super high average trade size, and we've come back to test that area. So this needs to hold, absolutely hold. So let's see if we get some strength in these currencies and weakness in the US dollar. Japanese yen, so Japanese yen in a downtrend, background's in grey. We had a signal short last week, blue professional bars at the highs on the retrace, blue professional bars, super high average trade size, and we got a downtrend happening here. No blue professional bars at the lows. We've had exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, and we rolled from there. We had a squeeze pattern down here where everything was super tight. We broke out of that, but we should have a continuation of the downtrend on the Japanese yen. 10 years. So 10 years was so junky. Look at this chart over the last 2 weeks. There's so much going on. A little bit crowded, really. Where's the beginning of the week? There we go. Yellow bar happening here. All these blue professional bars at the lows, and the market tests, holds, breaks into an uptrend. Those blue professional bars are getting the market going. So we're in an uptrend on 10 years, which is interesting. So let's see if we get continuation of that. Gold cracked higher. We're up at 3100s up here. I was wary about this 3 weeks ago, that they were taking profits and wait and see at 3,000. But all we did was just trail the stop up and up and up and up. And so up here, potentially an area of weakness on gold, but it needs to break into a downtrend. Silver has actually had a signal here. So silver, we rallied out of these lows. We had blue professional bars at the lows. A lot of congestion happening here with squeezes, and then we break out. We get a signal, and then we test, and the blue professional bars coming on the test. But this week's activity at those highs at 35.5. We've had blue professional bars coming on the highs, and the weakness after that has generated a signal. So it's interesting. So silver has weakened before gold. Bitcoin, yeah, what's Bitcoin doing this weekend? Not a lot. It's starting to try and hold here at 82,000, but no blue professional bars. We're in a downtrend. We didn't have blue professional bars absolutely on this high, which generated a nice signal, but we did have blue professional bars, super high average trade size test up here, break through the support, and then we're in a downtrend. So we're trying to hold, but we need blue professional bars to reverse a move. So it's not there yet on Bitcoin. Crude started to roll this week. So we had strength in crude, and I was expecting that because of this bar 3 weeks ago. The code on the squeeze indicator didn't show a blue professional bar there. But that's just because of the nuance of the way we broke through this trailing pro line. So I don't know, but blue professional bar at the lows there, 65, and we rally. And what have we got? We've got no blue professional bars at the highs up here. We've got some weakness happening at the moment. Squeeze, and we're following on. So we're in a downtrend, but we could bounce from there because we didn't absolutely see blue professional bars on these bars. That signal is playing off these professional bars. That was a long time ago. So let's wait and see on crude. Natural gas had a bounce. Sell-off last week. Exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, blue professional bars at the highs. We get a signal, breaks into a downtrend. And we've not had a signal down here at the lows, but the background's in red, so we're in an uptrend on natural gas. Copper finally has rolled, got up to $5.30. Spike up here, blue professional bars, super high average trade size, broken into a downtrend here. So copper, we're heading down. Corn, now the ags are looking interesting. So this one went nowhere last week. We failed, come back down, blue professional bars coming in at the lows, which is interesting, but not broken above the trailing stop. So corn potentially setting up for a change in trend. Soybeans has had the change in trend. So last week, blue professional bars coming in at the lows, we test amateur bars, and then we've broken through the trailing stop. Not super pretty on this chart, but the background's in red, so we're in an uptrend on soybeans. And wheat looking better, so that's a prettier chart. So at the highs, exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, we get a signal, blue professional bars getting the move going on the retrace here. We continue down all the way, and then the blue professional bars started coming at the lows, and super high average trade size down here, and we've had a signal. So wheat signaled into an uptrend. Background's not turned yet because the two indicators, better sine wave and better pro-am, aren't in sync quite yet. So there we go. So it's going to be an interesting week. I think we're going to see strength in the Forex markets, Euro, see if that bounce continues, see if British pound gets out of the funk and continues higher. Aussie dollar looking interesting. Gold and silver might be rolling, but not time for Bitcoin quite yet. So there we go, a rip through the charts. Now, before I sign off, I'm just going to show you a little bit of local color here in Hawaii. This is a tree that I walked past on one of my walks down to, it's a beach called Rock Quarry here on Kauai. Absolutely beautiful beach, but there's about 4 of these trees side by side. And it's a crazy ass tree, and I've never seen anything like this. And this is up close on the tree, and you can see it has all of this thorny bark. Incredible. It's called the floss silk tree. And the floss comes out of this tree, looks like this. Let's just do another zoom on this tree. So these spikes are all the way up on this tree, and it's to stop critters climbing the tree. Absolutely amazing. And then as you get higher up the tree, that's what it looks like. There we go. And this week we had the floss come off the tree. I've never seen this before. The weather is really odd, I think, around the world, and normally this is supposed to happen around October time, autumn time. But this floss was historically used to stuff pillows and life vests. It's lightweight, it's buoyant, and it's waterproof. So if you ever see what's called a kapok vest, they were used on ships up until World War II. That's what was stuffing the vest, the floss or the kapok that comes off this particular tree. It's normally in South America. It's not really known outside of that region, but we have them here on the island of Kauai, probably throughout the islands in Hawaii. But there we go, a little bit of local colour and a crazy-ass tree I've never seen anything like. Good luck with your trading this week. It's going to be pretty crazy, I think, but an important week, so let's see what happens.